Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do is show you some of the really cool automated features in Photoshop. This first feature allows you to create a panoramic image. So I can take a bunch of photographs that I've taken, say from a hilltop, and I take a photo and then move 15 degrees over, take a second photo, a third, fourth, fifth, and I can take these images and stitch them together. And so this is something we used to do in Photoshop manually, but now there's a feature for that, and it's one of the automated features. Let's take a look. So here's our finished image, and what we've done here is we've used the panorama feature to create this image. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to close this and build it again. I'm going to go up to File, I'm going to go down to Automate, and we're going to go down and choose Photo Merge. Now, over on the left are various configurations as to how the photo merge is going to be stitched together. 90% of the time, you can just leave it on auto. There are some circumstances where you may need to be doing something like exporting it to a VR type of environment where you may need to use one of the other formats. We're just going to leave it on auto. The next is source files. I can use a folder or file. We're going to use a file. I'm going to click Browse, and I'm going to select those images. I'm going to Control click and select all of those images. And so the idea is that I started over here, I took a picture, I took another picture, took a picture, and I moved clockwise across. You can do this vertically as well. I'm going to select those 5 images, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click OK. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to turn on all of the features here. I want the blend images together. I want the vignette removal. I want any kind of geometric distortion fixed. And then this other option, content aware fill, if there's areas in the document where it can fill in, and it'll do that. And so sometimes this works really well, especially with panoramic images. So I've selected all my images, I've turned on all of my features here. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to build that panoramic image for us. So it just takes a few minutes for it to stitch the images together. And this is one of those things about Photoshop that's amazing, is that there's a little brain back there now with Photoshop. And it's doing some thinking and some calculation. And so you're not all alone anymore. When you're working in Photoshop, you get a lot of help with Photoshop, with how it does certain activities. And so it's blending the selected layers based on content, creating a seamless composition, and we're just about done. And it's filling in the content-aware areas. And so the selections up here show you where it did the content-aware fill. I'm going to go to Select and choose Deselect. And you'll see the layers up here. So the top layer is the image stitched together. And then if I click on the top layer, make it invisible, you'll see where the content-aware fill came into place. And then I can click on each layer, and you can see which part of the image was stitched together. So it does the stitching of the images, and that stitching is relatively seamless. And then it added in the content aware. If I go to image and I choose image size, you'll see that this is a relatively large document. It's 11 inches wide or 5 inches high, and it can get bigger than that as well. So I'm going to go to File and choose Save As, and I would save this as a PSD or any other kind of file I want, or a TIFF, and that's how you use that feature under Automate Photo Merge. Okay, let's stop there.